running back stats as a whole position group, they're pretty good, and maybe not one guy gets all the stats and everybody else gets nothing. And it's allowed us to be pretty successful, over the last several years, and and guys having the opportunity here as well as the opportunity beyond here because of how we've done things.
And then obviously talk about Emory a lot, but what is the benefit that Anthony Richardson can get either from watching how Emory prepares or getting some actual playing time this year?
Yeah, I think you're going to see him on the field this year. I would imagine. I mean, as you know me, that's part of the developmental process and getting him out there. And he's a weapon with the ball in his hand, both running and throwing within his growth and his development. And I think, he's a guy coming in wanting to compete, to be the starter, understand it, know he's one play away from being the starter. And I think, going through and seeing how guys handled themselves last year really gives guys the maturity on how to learn and handle the situations. I think when you could sit back and you watch, hey, boy, Trask prepared this way. Look at how Emory was prepared. Look at when, he was, in the situations he's had in his career when he gets called, whether we have the package in for him or whether something happens and he's got to go play, he's always ready to go perform at that moment. This is what I need to do to make sure I'm there, that I prepare from practice 1 of training camp. I'm preparing to be the starter. 1, to compete for it, but 2, to be ready for that moment. And I think, he's learned how to do that.
Hey Dan, you mentioned that this is a young team coming into this year, and then you went and brought 4 transfers in that have a lot of experience, kind of been there, done that. Do you feel as though those guys have taken the younger players under their wing, kind of showing them the ropes so far?
I am really happy with how the experience those guys have brought to the table. Not just their talent, their ability to kind of create the depth that comes in and fills some gaps with some, older positions, if you will. But I do think they also, because I talked to them coming in about, hey, not just coming in as a player, but coming in a leadership role as an older guy, which is sometimes hard to say. I've been here for 6 months, but you're kind of counting on me to be a leader. But I talked about that when we brought them in. That's kind of a role that also that they have to be ready to fill, and I think they've done a really good job of that.
And then this was just announced a couple seconds ago, but Greg Sankey's contract has been extended through 2026. I'm just curious for your thoughts on that. The job he's done.
Did you get a good deal?
No financial terms.
I'll tell you what, no, that's awesome. I'm really excited. I think I have a great relationship with Commissioner Sankey. I think he has done an amazing job for this league. And in what he does, in the leadership he provides, in his communication with the coaches. Like I said, I have a lot of respect for him. I think he does a tremendous job, and that's pretty exciting for the league, and I'm really excited about it because of the relationship I have with him and his leadership within the league. That wasn't on the speed.
Yeah, Dan, Brenton obviously had to sit out a year before he was able to play. Having had that year now back under his belt in 2020, what are you kind of expecting from him, and then how's he dealing with that foot recovery?
Yeah, we expect him to be back. I don't know if we're going to let him go 100% right on day 1, but he's going to be out there practicing right away. And building him up right now, with the time that he's missed, building him up, getting ready back to being 100% in not just foot injury, within his training, conditioning, all that stuff. I expect big things out of him this year because, I thought he had a really solid year last year. Now a second year in the system, more experience, more a veteran guy, an older guy, having to learn, look at what he did well in Portland last year and how to build off of that. I have tremendous respect for Brent because you look at a guy that highly profiled recruiting guy. People had all kinds of questions about him. He's come in here and been, I think, SEC academic honor roll since the day he stepped on campus. Handles his business at an extremely high level in the locker room, in the classroom, and on the practice field. The effort and what he was able to do the year he knew he couldn't play, to come out every day, work, get better, be a team guy, give the team a great look, and excel in the classroom. I think is very. Shows a lot of the character and the type of person that he is, and really why he fits being a Florida Gator.
Hey, you mentioned earlier that when Trask replaced Philippe, you know, the fans probably weren't very confident at that moment, but you probably had your own confidence level in that transition. You've had a lot of quarterback ascension issues over the years in replacing quarterbacks. What is your comfort level with this one compared to others?
No, I'm great. You know, kind of the same way. I think, you know, there's little things you don't know until it happens, right? And because there's situations that maybe these guys have never been in before. You know, I had a lot of confidence in Kyle when we put him in the game, but he was going into a situation I have not seen him in a time, and how he was going to handle that. And he handled every situation that was thrown at him extremely well. My confidence in Emery as a player is extremely high. My confidence with his maturity is extremely high. Now, he's also, though, going to get put in situations we haven't seen him have to handle. Right? I mean, everyone's favorite player on the team is the backup quarterback, right? I mean, mostly, right? I mean, everybody loves the backup quarterback. And, you know, so I think that is such a big deal of now all the extra responsibilities that you haven't had to handle that are really almost non-football related, more mental and handling different situations and pressures. You know, not how's he going to handle a 3rd down and 4. I have no worries about that. You know, it's handling all of what comes with being a starting quarterback.
And that's just a wait and see at this point.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to coach him through it. I don't. There's nothing that would tell me he's not going to handle it. I mean, we're like as good as anybody I've ever had.
Yeah, and one follow on the COVID issue. You said that it might fluctuate week to week as far. Because as far as
I turn on the news. That's from me from watching the news.
Yeah, right? about the levels of vaccination that you have to have 85%.
That's from me watching the news.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
I mean that's.
In order to understand,
that press conference, honestly, those questions are answered down the street.
Yeah, but in order to meet the protocols of the SEC and the NCAA, so you won't be tighter.
As of what I understand them to be now, but again, that's a question for down the street.
Right, but if it stays at 85%, which is, you know, of this organization, you know, once you're vaccinated, you're that doesn't fluctuate. You either are or you aren't. I mean, do you know how many players or how many actual players organization have to meet that 85%?
No, I think we're probably over it at this point.
Okay.
To be honest, I don't know. I haven't gone into the exact number, but I mean, in talking with our medical people, because we're not at a point where we need to be at a threshold yet.
Okay.
We're several weeks away from that. Okay. 4 weeks ago, I would think we're probably in a different place now than we were 4 weeks ago. But that again, that's for me just turning on the news. I don't know where it'll be 4 weeks from now.
Okay.
Mark, and then close with that here.